Hello and welcome to the Intentional Brief, your weekly video update on the one big thing in cybersecurity news for middle market companies, their investors, and executive teams. I'm your host, Shay Colson, managing partner at Intentional Cybersecurity, and you can find us online at intentionalcyber.com. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, and I'm coming back online after a few days offline and off the grid, and boy did I seem to miss a bunch of news. We talked last week about the escalation between Iran and Israel, and that's clearly continued to ratchet up now with direct U.S. involvement. Lots of discussion about the cyber implications there. Obviously, a leverage extender for a country like Iran, who is militarily disadvantaged in this instance. And Iran definitely has cyber capabilities that we've discussed here before. But Iran isn't what we're going to be focusing on today, because we're actually tracking the expanding web of the threat actor group known as Scattered Spider. As a reminder, Scattered Spider is behind the retail attacks we've covered here in the past few months in the UK against Marks and Spencer's, Co-op, Harrods, and others. And now Google and Mandiant are noting that their Scattered Spider is pivoting away from retail and moving to focus on US-based insurance carriers as their next set of victims. Two insurers, Erie Indemnity Company and Philadelphia Insurance Companies, which also includes Tokyo Marine America and First Insurance Company of Hawaii, are claiming still that their ongoing outages are not ransomware. And as always, it's a little hard to discern the truth from the outside, but we've now got a third data point in a late Friday SEC filing from American insurer Aflac. Yes, the one with the duck and the Deion Sanders and the whole thing. In an interesting twist, Aflac themselves seems to acknowledge that it is ransomware at the other shops too, noting in their own statement that, quote, this attack, like many insurance companies are currently experiencing, was caused by a sophisticated cybercrime group, unquote. I would argue here that this notation as sophisticated isn't necessarily true. These threat actors come right down the middle. They fish for credentials. They SIM swap or push notification flood the victim for 2FA and VPN access. Then they recon your AD infrastructure, exfiltrate data, and drop the ransomware. None of this is new. In fact, CISA has published guidance on Scattered Spider's exact TTPs as early as November 2023, and yet these attacks are still working. Why? People. They're attacking your people, not your systems. Those resources that they're logging into to steal their data are things that they're not breaking into, they're not hacking into, they're logging into them after they've defeated your human firewall. Upskilling humans is hard. Training and awareness campaigns are hard. The human element of security is always tricky, but you've got to run a multi-pronged effort here. Training, testing, and technology to keep them and your organization from being the next victim. So if you aren't training your people, start. If you aren't testing your people, start. And if you are considering deploying phish-resistant MFA, start. There's nothing to be gained in waiting here. Read the articles, share them with your leadership, and then get back to work, because Scattered Spider is going to continue to pivot forward. They are highly financially motivated. They are very good at scaling their efforts. They're going industry by industry, and there are plenty of things that we can do to slow them down and prevent ourselves from being victims, but we've got to do that work now. We cannot do it once they're in our systems. From a fundraising perspective, a very light week this week, with just a few $100 million coming across my desk in terms of newly committed capital, perhaps due to a little vacation on my part, perhaps the calm before the end of the quarter storm that might come next week, or perhaps everyone is heading into summer mode a touch early and we won't see things pick up until September. I can't say which is true, but I do see definitely some reduced volumes here as we close out the month, the quarter, and the half, and that's okay. We've put up some good numbers up to this point, record numbers in some weeks, and we've still got half of the year to go. A reminder that you can find links to all the articles we covered below. You can find back issues and written transcripts of these videos at intentionalcyber.com, and we will see you next week for another edition of the Intentional Brief.